They build their team like a 4-year-old got their hands on Madden.
That is so backhanded and just so disrespectful. Like,
I have grown up very much disliking the Cincinnati Bengals. You've known this from the years we've done this podcast. I just have no respect for their organization. I think they are a poorly ran organization. I think they're
even Bengals fans don't know like they're.
I think they are a joke of an organization. I think they are a cheap organization, and I think they have had some really great quarterbacks come through there in recent decades, namely Carson Palmer, who they just wasted his career. And now you're seeing with Joe Burrow. I mean, they have a legitimate Hall of Famer in Joe Burrow, a potential Hall of Famer. He's not a Hall of Famer yet, obviously, and you have missed the playoffs with him for 2 years straight now, despite the fact that he literally, all he has to do is make the playoffs, and he's probably the MVP of the league last year. I mean, he was that good. 43 touchdowns. I mean, he was superb. He was sensational to 9 interceptions. Jamar Chase, Triple Crown winner. And despite that, he doesn't have a good offensive line. His defense was literally the worst in the NFL last year. I mean, I wish I'd pulled this up. That stat, something about how like a team has never lost as many games as they had lost, scoring like 30 points or something like that. They broke that record or something this year. I mean, it's something insane. And they go into this offseason. They build their team like a 4-year-old got their hands on Madden and just jacked up the contracts to absurd amounts. Jamar Chase, fair game. Should have paid him. Jamar Chase is one of the 2 best receivers in the league. He's the Triple Crown winner. Totally fine with Jamar Chase getting paid. Then you gave T. Higgins $28 million.
Yeah. Did not like that. That was not smart.
Your defense was horrible. Your only good player on defense, the only player that really like was elite last year on your defensive side of the ball.
You're pissing him off.
You're just like, we don't want to pay you, bro. We don't want to pay you. Like, what are you doing? We also fired Lou Anarumo, which, you know, some people might support that.
Disagree.
I hated that. I hated that. And look, they went and got Al Golden from Notre Dame, so, you know, they're optimistic that maybe he can step it up. But, like, Lou Anarumo's problem, if he had a problem, was he was just stubborn with the personnel. That's about it. I mean, like, at base, they did not give him the personnel to succeed. Now, again, if you want to say, like, he was slow in taking out some players and moving some players around, fine, fair game. But that is, you had one of the best defensive coordinators in the league, and he was not able to do anything with the team you were giving him. They drafted some good defensive players back in the day. We remember Jesse Bates, and let him walk. It's just, I really hope this doesn't turn into a similar thing like we just did with the Steelers. But, man, dude, this team really frustrates me. And you have a quarterback as great as Joe Burrow, and they're just wasting his prime.
Yeah, I agree that. And just to, like, you know, just to top it all off, they took them, like, months to sign their first-round pick, Shamar Stewart from Texas A&M. Took them a long time to get him signed up. And I know there's probably a bit of bad, like, it, you know, money kind of heals all, but I bet still, like, you had that void in his contract, even though I think he was a player that had no off the field issues, and you had a stipulation in there that if he did anything wrong, they could just void his contract. Like, what are you doing there? Like, that is so backhanded and just so disrespectful. Like, and how is that? This is a guy you drafted in the first round. This is a guy you're expecting. The best thing that you can expect from this player is that he's a future Hall of Famer for your franchise, and that is how you treated him with his first contract in the NFL. That's just disrespectful.
Well, to be fair, he had a lot of off-the-field issues.
Okay, my bad. I retract that statement.
Oh, wait, no, he didn't. What is their ceiling and what is their floor?
I mean, floor, probably 8, 9, 9, and 8.
Wow.
missing the playoffs.
Okay.
I still think. I mean, it's really banking on can their new defensive coordinator Al Gordon, fix it up, and probably Joe's not gonna have MVP type season, but he's still going to be very good and he's still going to be talked about. Like we're still going to talk about Joe Burrow and all the amazing stuff he will do this year. Like he's great again versus the pressure. He's just overall awesome and the reason to watch the Bengals. And floor or ceiling, excuse me, making the playoffs and at you can probably make the playoffs 10-7, but 11-6, maybe 12-5, get into the
Okay.
postseason.
Okay, I feel that. I mean, look, I hear what you're saying about Al Golden. I am hopeful that Al Golden is going to step in and take over for Lou Enron. Again, I didn't like to see Lou go, but like, if you found Al Golden is a decent replacement. I mean, I think that could work, but
They're really good Notre Dame last year.
yeah, you just need to get him the guys. And look, I'm gonna sit here and trash. Look, I will be complimentary here for a second, okay? Because I will talk about the fact they did, unlike the Steelers, who, hey Steelers, your offense is bad. Yeah, that's why we drafted defensive players. They did draft defensive players. Like they went and drafted, as we've talked about, Shamar Stewart. They went and drafted Demetrius Knight. Like they went and drafted, Dylan Fairchild in the third. So like those are their first, second, and third round picks. And obviously Dylan Fairchild's a guard, but like at least they're doing that, At least they're like, hey, we can only get cheap talent because we're paying these guys. Let's actually go spend our cheap talent at the places we have holes. So I give them that. Like that's a positive. There you go, Cincinnati. Don't come and flame me for hating on you too much. I gave you that. Ceiling and floor. I just don't see how this team wins 11 games. Like I want to say 11-6. That's my gut instinct. I'll say 11-6. They got Joe Burrow. If he lights it up. And look, I'll say this too. How about this?
Kind of got not a bad schedule.
The Cowboys, they had historically one of the worst defenses in the history of the sport in 2013. Okay? They got rid of DeMarcus Ware that offseason. And it was like, oh my God. Not only did we already have one of the worst defenses with DeMarcus Ware, now we don't have DeMarcus Ware. And look, 2014, they were not a great defense, but they were serviceable. And our offense behind DeMarco Murray, we went and won 12 games. It was a really good year for us in the regular. So, like, the past is not destiny. Okay? So maybe there's going to be something here that we see. Maybe, even if they lose Trey Hendrickson, maybe they go get some picks, which they need. They need picks bad. Maybe they get a decent starter to fill in some holes for them. And maybe they're 20th in defense. Which 20th
That's an improvement.
That's a massive improvement. 20th in defense and 4th, top 5, whatever you want to put it, in offense. That's an 11-win team. And y'all were close to beating the Ravens twice last year. So, you convert one of those into a win. You take care of business against the Browns. You don't blow one of the Steelers. Like, I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
They might have been playoffs. They didn't lose week 1.
It's true.
They didn't lose to the Patriots. They could have been. Oh, no.
It's true. So, all right. Well, anything else? Anything else from you on the Bengals? I don't really have anything else.
No, not really. Joe Burrow's amazing. Just like
Love Joe Burrow.
and Joe Burrow, we trust.
Joe, we trust.